You're listening to Power 750 WAUG and online at power750.com. If you're looking for affordable health and insurance coverage, well then give Jonica Rowland of the Rowland Group a call. She's here to serve families, individuals, and small businesses. Contact her at 919-719-7211 or at 919-539-2492. Once again, contact Jonica Rowland of the Rowland Group.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of the BabethomHerman Show with your host here, Herman Thomas. And I trust and hope that you will enjoy your early morning coffee with BabethomHerman on this beautiful Saturday morning. Now today's topic is the NBA draft necessary, and also giving tribute to those fathers out there in BabethomHerman's top 5 TV dads of all time. Now the topic dealing with is the NBA draft necessary is part 1. And I'll be going over part 2, of course, next week. So please call your friends up. I know it's a little early. Just call them up and also remind them if they missed the show that they can go to my YouTube channel, BabethomHerman, and listen to today's broadcast and also previous broadcasts. Also, those of you who have been listening to the show on a regular know I don't spend a lot of time recapping. You know what I always say, yesterday news is old news by morning or noon of the next day. So basically, I don't spend a lot of time recapping, but I am a sports lover. You can follow me on Twitter at BabethomHerman. You can see the feeds that come in from ESPN, Yahoo Sports, and so forth, and keep up to date with what's going on in the world of sports or sports-related topics. We all know the Miami Heat and the OKC Thunder. That series is currently going on. You want to keep up with that. The first 2 games have already been played. You can keep up with the update at NBA.com. Also, Yahoo Sports, ESPN, good resources, great resources for all sports. Also, I'd like to say congratulations to the NHL champions, the LA Kings, who defeated the New Jersey Devils in 5 games, beat them 4-1, and are the 2012 NHL champions. I'd like to congratulate them. Also like to congratulate the NC State Wolfpack, who battled against Florida, the Gators, on this past Sunday. And they were fighting 2 battles against one against Mother Nature, the other against the Florida Gators. They gave it all they had. A very controversial call. Third strike at the end to end the game rather, and very controversial. So I'm not going to let it overshadow North Carolina State's great season. Florida Gators, great win. And just my hats go off to the NC State men's baseball team for giving it all they had, and they came just a few runs from getting to the College World Series. The representative for the ACC will be Florida State. I said them accidentally a few seconds ago, but Florida State will be the ACC representative in this year's College World Series, and we wish them good luck to keep up with the College World Series and your favorite teams who may be in it. You can feel free to keep up with it at theacc.com. Just looking at South Carolina Gamecocks, to me, look like they are in a great position to three-peat. That's just my opinion, but they are certainly in a great position to three-peat, and I wish the Gamecock much success. Now, getting back to the subject, is the NBA draft necessary? All of us know that the New Orleans Hornets were awarded the number 1 overall pick in this year's version of the NBA lottery, and will get that pick for this year's 2012 NBA draft, which will be on June the 28th. I know there are conspiracy theorists who believe this was all fake. And unless you were on the rock this past Wednesday, when I tuned into it, the Jim Rome show, and I was very shocked. At first I thought it was just a joke. I thought maybe it was scripted to just be placed and used in humor as a script on the show. But NBA Commissioner David Stern got into a heated exchange with Jim Rome on this past Wednesday when the radio host asked him if the New Orleans Hornets winning the lottery or winning the draft lottery was fixed. A lot of you may look at that question as stupid or shouldn't have been asked, but I would have definitely asked it. I think it's a question that he should have answered with a, a straight voice. If you could call it that, I'm calling it straight voice. Like if we seen him on TV, we'd say straight face. So I'm saying he should have said it with a straight voice. He didn't have to. He responded in a negative way. Stern was certainly offended And I'm going to let you listen to this, the audio on this, and you'll be a little shocked.
New Orleans won the draft lottery, which of course produced the usual round of speculation that maybe the lottery was fixed. I know that you appreciate a good conspiracy theory as much as the next guy. Was the fix in for the lottery?
I have two answers for that. I'll give you the easy one. No, and a statement. Shame on you for asking.
I understand why you would say that to me, and I wanted to preface it by saying it respectfully. I think it's my job to ask because I think people wonder.
No, it's ridiculous, but that's okay.
I know that you think it's ridiculous, but I don't think the question is ridiculous because I know people think that.
Stop beating
I'm
your
not
wife
saying
yet?
I'm not saying that I do, but I think it's my job to ask you that.
Have you stopped beating your wife yet?
Yeah, I don't know if that's fair.
Why is that?
Because I think that and I know you read your emails, and I'm sure you follow things virally and on Twitter. People really do think it, whether it's fair or not.
Well, they think it because people
You don't think the question's fair to ask if your fans think it?
Silly questions. I expect it to be written about, and I commented last night at my presser that there was one guy who I won't dignify by naming says, I have no reason to know anything, and I don't know anything, but I tell you I believe it's fixed. Okay, that's good. Why is that? Well, because this team won it, and if that team won it, it would have been fixed also, and if that team won it, it would have been fixed also, and if every team was invited to have a representative there, and if there were 4 members of the media there, and if Ernst & Young certified it, you still think yes. So I guess
I think two things. Which response to this? I think two things. Number one, I don't think so. I don't think so, and I'm not covering myself. I don't think so, but I think by asking the question, it would not suggest that I think so. But the one thing I would say, the league does own the team, does it not?
Yes.
Does that not make the question fair?
I don't think so.
Now, that was just truly unprofessional. And I can't believe that David Stern, the NBA commissioner, made a statement like that. Now, you may wonder why I stated that the question needed to be asked. Of course, the NBA purchased the Hornets from George Shinn back in 2010 for $318 million. Shinn, of course, was forced to sell due to financial troubles. Now, if I was writing this, I would put in quotation financial troubles because, according to Mike Ozanian of Forbes magazine, the article I'm talking about, NBA will break even on sale of the Hornets to Tom Benson. This was written on April 13th of this year, 2012. Now, Tom Benson, of course, you all know, is the current owner of the New Orleans Saints, and he has agreed in principle to purchase the Hornets from the NBA for $338 million. Now, what you get from this is that when I said put into quotation financial troubles, the NBA purchased the Hornets from George Shinn for $318 million. But of that, and we're going to do the calculations here, and I'm getting my calculation out, and I'm going to be not doing the Jeffro Bodine, not. Now, there were strings attached to this. Of the $318 million, the NBA had $248 million, and part of the deal was Shinn had to loan or lend the NBA the remaining $70 million at 3% interest. Now, it sounds like he was in a lot of financial trouble if he has $70 million readily available to lend you to buy my team. I just thought that was ridiculous. I'm going to give you got $248 million. You're short $70 million, but I'm going to lend it to you. I'm broke, but I'm going to lend you $70 million, and you're going to pay me roughly about $2.1 million in interest. Now, that looks, I guess that's just NBA business. I'm not even going into it. Now, once again, Tom Benson agreed in principle to purchase the Hornets from the NBA for $338 million. There's still some I's to dot and T's to cross to finalize this deal. But in the meantime, it's not too far-fetched for anyone to believe that, you know what, this deal isn't. I feel comfortable with paying the $338 million, but we rank pretty low. The Hornets, rather, they're not my team yet, rank pretty low. You guys, because you own the team, of course. Benson probably sitting back, and I'm just speaking hypothetically. I'm not saying this is what happened, but it's not too far-fetched for anyone to believe this may have happened. Your team, that I'm getting ready to purchase in principle, agree to purchase in principle, were pretty low at the bottom, number 20 something. Maybe, I know it's past number 20, maybe 24, 26 in attendance. I need some concessions here. I'm not buying this team for $338 million and then turn around. I'm not going to be able to generate any ticket sales. Hey, we got a answer for you. We can make sure that this NBA lottery that you all get the number one pick. Finishing 21-45. You're going to get the number one pick in this lottery over the team that finished with the worst record in NBA regular season history, the Bobcats. And we all know that Anthony Davis will more than likely be the number one pick chosen by the New Orleans Hornets. That's going to generate revenue right there off the bat. Ticket sales are going up. Ticket sales will certainly go up when you can generate to your fans the number one overall draft pick in Anthony Davis. Now, the reason I'm saying is the NBA draft necessary, and this is part one because part two will be next week in this phase because we do have the second part of the show, BabethomHerman's top 5 TV dads of all times. Now, after a terrible season in this past season, 2011 and 12, these guys get awarded the number one draft pick. And when I'm talking about these guys, I'm talking about the Hornets. You know, they dismantled this team. They sent Chris Paul to the LA Clippers after the league, the NBA, who owned the Hornets, rejected the Laker deal to get Chris Paul to the LA Lakers. Now, in my eyes and in many Laker fans' eyes and many NBA fans, true ball fans' eyes, Chris Paul to the Lakers, we might be seeing the Heat versus the Lakers at this time and not OKC versus the Heat had this trade been finalized or agreed to. Now, that's when a lot of conspiracy theories started coming about. The NBA, which owned the Hornets, said, no, at first it was like, okay, we'll trade it, Chris Paul to the Lakers. And then all of a sudden, some of the league owners rejected it, saying no, and I don't see anything wrong with it. You got LeBron, you got D-Wade, and you got Bosh on the same team. Why not Kobe? Why not Paul? And why not Bynum? So, I didn't understand that. I think it was a crock. And that's a conspiracy in itself, and that's another story, a different topic for another day. I'm not, and don't get the impression I'm picking on the NBA. The concept of a player draft isn't anything unusual, of course. It's a fixture in every major North American sport. Now, we all know the draft prevent wealthy teams from hoarding talent while allowing struggling teams, of course, like the Hornets, like the Bobcats, to have the first crack at the best young players. But the modern NBA draft is a little more unique with their lottery system. Now, the NBA is sometimes, in my eyes, in many people's eyes, has some teams unconcerned about winning. You look at Golden State and Steph Curry. There was no rush to get Steph Curry back with that ankle injury that he, pretty much had all season. Why? Because, the more we lose, the better it is. We don't have to, with this lottery system, we don't have to necessarily have, it's not like the NFL where we have to have the worst record in the league to get the number one pick. We're in a lottery. We're in a position to still get the number one pick. 21-45 sucks, but it still puts you in a position to get into that lottery. And as we see, 21-45, you don't necessarily have to win just 7 games to get that number one pick. And it's unique in itself because it creates an atmosphere in my eyes where teams, don't want to win, especially at the tail of the year. And you say, well, Sean, let's just sit on a few games. Let's, you injured, man, just sit out. Sit them out the game. It just creates that atmosphere, that losers mentality so we can get that number one pick. And who suffers? The fans. The fans suffer. I mean, have you went to an NBA game lately? Have you seen the price of most of those tickets? We, the fans, we suffer. It's just foolish the way it is now. And it's a system that needs to be, something needs to be done. And we know the lottery was initiated in 1985, the lessen the temptations for teams to lose games in order